WJBW is made possible by sausage. Stick one in your mouth.
I hear a little bit of feedback in the mic.
These charges are not mine.
Hey, welcome to the JBW Web DBWDD.com or RevRevShow.com. Oh, yes! Guys, you were fucking asinine.
Can you give me a massage? I love you.
Holla at you.
Ow!
Ooh, girl.
Seriously.
Hello, Papa.
Some shit like that. You gotta do the Rocky Mountain Ride.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck with. Boy. Ain't everybody getting Rocky Mountain Ride?
WJBW.
Like all the controls on this remote unit, the volume is fully variable. Should the telephone ring or guests arrive,
WJBWnetworks.com. That's the primary sites. The JB Reb Show. Welcome to it. A little bit laid back on this edition. I am JB Webb at Radio JB Webb on the Twitter machine. Across the way from me normally sits the Reverend. He is out at Eagles of Death Metal. Mastodon are playing out there. Hard Rock Live, Orlando. And this episode, we got a great... How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good, man.
Good.
It's so great to be on the show.
I appreciate you. I appreciate you being able to fill in, man. I know we're going to have a good time on this edition. We have a call, probably, hopefully, early in the episode. We can get a hold of the Reverend. He's supposed to be. We want to wish him a happy birthday and talk to him a little bit. He said he might have a surprise.
The Reverend.
Yeah, the Reverend. He might have a surprise for us.
The
Rev it
Reverend.
up.
Yeah.
Rev it up.
Yes, I do, man.
We'll get to the Reverend's surprise a little bit later, maybe. We'll see what that is. But 7:30, it is Curtis X. Meyer, and he is one of the three finalists for Orlando's very first official Poet Laureate, which is cool. So we're going to get to talk with him no matter what he, happens. I think recently there was an Iron Poet competition. We'll see how he fared in that. He's been a part of Slam, Safe Words, and all the other There Will Be Words, all these other events around here in Orlando that kind of proliferate literature and writing and speaking. So we'll get into that a little bit later.
Yeah, all the educated stuff.
All the heady shit.
Yeah, the heavy.
Yeah. And then after that 8 o'clock hour, expect a call with a guy who does a hell of a lot of stuff. You've heard of shows I go to, right?
Yeah, they've been around for a while.
They give away tickets. They do a bunch of badass stuff. That's one. The next thing is 10 Fest is coming up, and that's not this Saturday. It's next Saturday, October 7th, out there, right there in Ivanhood district. You can find it. You can Google it. You can do
Google that right now.
And it's right there, but we'll get the skinny from him. Plus, he's in a band called American Party Machine. So we'll play some of their music. We'll play some Fat Knight, who's going to be out at 10 Fest. Maybe do the news. We'll get Jeff Rowe's perspective on whatever the hell he wants to tell us about political, local, Billy Maines. It doesn't matter. We'll get his fresh viewpoint and let him air it out. And then, of course, your calls all mixed through that 407-906-9328. That's our studio line again, with the exception of 7:30 and 8 p.m. Do not call us in. But we're going to try to get a call together with the Reverend here. He's out at Hard Rock Live, or on his way there. I'm not sure what's going on. But, hey, let's get to you. How the hell you been, buddy? Thank you so much, dude. You fucking rock. I appreciate you taking some time coming in here, chilling the fuck out, doing the thing.
Yeah, it's cool to be here, man. I'm really, glad that I'm here. It's
You
the
rock.
first time.
Well, you rock, man. You've sent us some reports in the past, which are colorfully fun. and entertaining.
Yeah, usually it'll really
were you
mess
time
up.
traveling on one of them? I think you did the whole sequence for us. It was really rich. It was evocative of those radio opera days.
Yeah, I'm trying to work on that. It's kind of entertaining. I try to be a little funnier in there. My sense of humor is pretty whack, so I'm not. I try to like have fun.
No. You got a good sense of humor. Plus, you're
I'm like the Beavis and Butthead.
You're like the local flavor.
Yeah.
It's almost wherever you're at. There's going to be a good time going down. Probably if you see Jeff Rowe cruising around that place.
Yeah,
So that's
yeah.
a
I
good
try to go where the good times at.
peak level
Instead of-
indicator, as they say. Anyway, but you've been in Orlando for over 20 years, haven't you?
Yeah, I kind of like grew up here.
Well, we're going to
been
give
here.
you this honorary local legend, Jeffro Rapp, art, music activist here in Orlando. Over 20 years, Orlando native.
Yeah.
We'll find out. We'll get into all that.
Way
Do
over
a quick
20.
quick interview, kind of drive-by local legend session with him. A little surprise, I didn't tell him. So, but anyway, you rock, buddy. I appreciate you supporting people, and you know that's a big facet that goes under-recognized. Like they're not at Entertainment Tonight. Like, look at all. Let's go interview these people that are supporting and making these talented people stuff come together in more cohesive ways, if it were, right? You're a big believer in energies and, you know, kind of how that works.
Yeah, the force of
give us-
energy and the sound waves itself is an extraordinary thing. To be able to like have something come out like in the air and it penetrates somebody's brain, or not even that, just like out in the stars. We're just a force of like rhythm.
Yeah.
And, like I play percussion.
It's spiritual.
Yeah, spiritual to me, man.
Yeah.
Music's spiritual to me. I can understand people wanting to make lots of money at it, but to me, it's more of a spiritual thing.
And I think you're right about that too, because more than having shit that you have to do, I found in life, and I'm like 45. But I found that there's like a peace in having rituals. You know, whether it's shaving or whether. Oh yeah, no, he
Yeah, it's
doesn't have.
40.
He got a full beard over there. All right, that's not what I meant.
Yeah, I was growing this before it became popular. I
Yeah,
just
there
wanna
you
say.
go. That's,
I've had my beard since when people only had mustaches.
Yeah.
man, I'm telling you.
Yeah. You ever going to join a competition? Are you in the Orlando beard mustache group?
I support a few clubs.
Yeah.
I got his friend. He's like all into that. He travels around the country.
Yeah.
Like entering the contest, and he's got like so many people got so many awesome beards, and I don't really take care of mine that much. I just let it do what it wants, but I do trim it up.
Is that the point of a beard? Is to have
Yeah.
this, is to allow it to kind of do its own thing.
Yeah, my skin is real soft underneath my beard. I tell
I
you
would
what,
imagine.
it's like a baby's butt. You would never even
like
you
the
know.
bottom side of a bear.
Yeah, it's so raw.
little bit of lotion. That's good. How long has it been since you shaved?
Well, I've shaved it down to like where it wasn't long, but
Yeah.
since I've
it back.
kind of like shaved it all off,
Completely, yeah.
it's probably been 20 years now.
Oh, damn. Are you serious? So your beard
And-
is a local legend also.
Yeah.
It's
But-
Jeff Rowe's beard.
But the thing about it is I was only without a beard for a year. So before that, it was like 7-8 years. So we're talking about like only like a half a year to a year without a beard. So you're talking more like 35
You
years.
should get
30 years.
insurance on the beard because it's got some value. Like if the beard ever gets hurt in a fire. Oh, because, that hair. Oh, who wants to talk about hair burning?
Oh, yeah.
Not me. Anyway, Jeff Rowe Rapp in studio sitting in for the Reverend. We kind of dubbed him our local legend activist role because you go out and you support a lot of bands, a lot of stuff. And let's talk real quick.
Yes.
20 years ago, 20 years promoting, encouraging, going forward, 20 years ago, Will's Lock Haven Pub.
Yeah.
Cluj was there. You had, or what was it? Even Alter Ego.
Oh, yeah,
I
the
don't know.
90s. Wow.
I mean, yeah, there were so many cool things about Orlando because the internet was not yet harnessing all of our attention or or amplifying people's sound, and it was only at a local level that you could get a good read of what was going on.
Yeah, we'd basically have beepers and we'd have to run to a payphone.
Remember that? Yeah. Why'd you text 911? just to bring beer before 2 a.m. Oh,
No, but-
hey, the reverse Glenda Hood. That's what we'll give you, Mr. No Curfew. How you like that?
Yeah. The music back then was like, I don't know, when people went out to go see music, yeah, they were more into, like, you didn't have your cell phones, people weren't on there.
Yeah.
But, people were into more games. I mean, today, everything's more technological. I get it. I'm part of it. I have a problem with it, too.
Yeah, you got
I
songs
sold
on
out.
your phone.
Yeah, I sold out to the technology
Okay.
8 years ago, too, but I waited longer than most people. I rejected
Well,
it for so long.
But
and then
life is easier with it, right?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, okay, but yeah, talking about that, do you have any, Gargamel, I will say, is one of the bands that stood the test of time.
Gargamel used to play Will's Pub back at the old one on Left
yeah.
Haven all the time.
Yeah, and, I was trying to think of other bands that have kind of been around for that long of a time, and there's a little bit.
Well, I used
guess.
to-
Do you remember any?
I used to, back in the day, we used to go to the bars, but we basically had like places like fields that we'd go to and throw music festivals. My friends.
Official party.
Yeah, and that's where I first tapped into like helping musicians load in and load out. Because I wanted to get stoned with them and hang out in the house afterwards.
Yeah.
And I'd help them hang out, and then I'd also take it out to the campfire. But yeah, like we had like the refried ranch, and there was a place out, in Winter Springs called the Bluesberry Jam Ranch. It was a chicken ranch, but we'd go to
And
bars
it doubled as kind of a venue.
Yeah, as a venue. It was basically just a party. Everything was more simple back. But yeah, there were bar shows, man, like downtown in like Will's, like Refried Confusion.
Oh yeah, that's
420. I used to go religiously to go see them every Sunday. And there was like a party spot out back. And I've met so many of the people that I've met here in Orlando that I've known for a long time. That the thing about Orlando is it constantly changes. I know people all the way around the country because they used to live here. It's a transient town. Now they live in Colorado or San Francisco or New York. So I know all these people that used to live here live somewhere else. And, like, I guess Facebook helps me keep contact with those guys still.
Well, too, back in the day, I guess you got to say, Orlando is pretty kind of speakeasy-ish if you know people and have friends and stuff like that. Because I think even right down off of Mills, kind of where St. Matthews is down there, was another little punk place that was totally, like, off the radar, but it was there.
Out there by UCF.
Out by
clubs would
UCF,
go,
they used to
comes would go.
have that big venue out there, but that's changed. That's a whole metropolis over there.
Everything's
in
grown.
itself, isn't it? Yeah. Anyway,
So many people in Orlando now. One thing about the hurricane when it came by, it seemed like Orlando in the 80s, right after the hurricane, because I went out driving, not when you're not supposed to.
the curfew.
Yeah, because I'm
Reverse Glenda Hood.
Yeah, I'm an anti-authority. I'm against authority, so I'm a rebel. So when I went out on the streets, it felt like it was the 80s. There was hardly anybody driving on it. Now it's back to normal. We're back to crowded.
Yeah, isn't that crazy how if you don't have all the technology and the niceties, you almost forget, this is how people lived for thousands of years, with the exception of the last 100 years. If you lived in Florida, right, you did not have AC. I saw an interesting thing, and maybe it's in India, where they take these terracotta tubes, and when the air flows through there, because they're constantly being dripped upon by water, it creates a way to turn the hot air into cold. The concept of air conditioning is totally a mechanical one in our world, but I think, the more that we can learn to take advantage of the earth and kind of ride the wave as it is without having too much of a contraption or a machine where something can break down and go wrong, then we're going to be richer and richer and richer, because our wealth is not going to depend on things that are fallible.
Yeah, everything's turning into one device. So when that goes down, you lose everything.
Right.
That's the way they're
and
trying
who wants
to do
that?
it.
Yeah, well, and they're even doing the coding with the finger now. I saw there's some place in London that's doing your whole entire finger, now not just your thumbprint, and your body has to be alive. There has to be blood coursing through your veins, so somebody's not dead using your finger like on Die Hard or some shit. Anyway, okay, let's see if we can sabotage the Rev here.
Yeah, man, he's
what's it
having
about?
way too much fun.
Yeah, I mean, he's not even being accountable to. I said, don't worry about it. It's your birthday. Hold on. So he's not even responding to me. All right. So we're just gonna see if we can pop a call in his ass right about there. We'll bust away into some Leisure Chief. Come back with a conversation with Curtis X Meyer. We'll ask him about the X. Find out what that means. Right now, we're going to call the Rev. Let's get him queued into the system there.
Yeah, come on, brother. Answer your phone.
The Reverend. The Reverend. The Reverend. The Reverend. The Reverend.
Hello, is this?
That's me.
The Reverend.
Is this the Reverend?
Yeah.
Hi, Reverend. We have a special one-time vacation package for you, only if it's your birthday.
Yeah, okay.
The Reverend.
I know what's going on here. I'm already on vacation.
And catch this and more on the next episode
Jeffrey
of Soap.
Ross, guys.
It's not Jeffrey Ross.
Yeah.
Jeffrey Ross.
Rockin' Bras.
Yeah. How do you feel? Yeah. I had to make sure you would want to come back. I had Jeffrey Ross sit in for you. He's over there. He's going to roast you. Are you ready? Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
Good.
Yeah.
What up?
Hey, buddy. How you doing? Happy birthday, most importantly. Okay.
You just waking up, ready to go? No, you almost
Yeah,
at
I'm just getting out of bed, bro.
Are you
going to
on?
meet up with Jesse Hughes from Eagles of
Okay.
Death Metal.
There you go.
Yeah,
Well, I hope you have a great show. Happy birthday, brother. I wanted to give you a call and make sure you were doing okay. Jeff Rowe's keeping your seat over there. Did you know Jeff Rowe has had his beard for like 20 years, like almost 30 years? Like you could,
What?
His beard has a dating profile on Tinder. Did you know that?
You know, that's crazy, because it's been at least 20 years since the motherfuckers washed that stuff.
No.
I know that for sure.
Yeah. I just
Every time I can tell there's geckos around because I smell them.
I wash it with hemp oil.
It smells
You
like
gotta-
it smells
Yes,
like
I
Clay
do,
washing
man.
ribs except without the sauce
Yeah.
before he cooks it.
Yeah, I got a few like nice buds hidden underneath there.
Yeah, you do.
keeps it
Like,
nice
"Oh,
and smelling
man,
good."
Good buds, bro. Kill me,
Yeah. So are you hopefully are you sacrificing your health? I hope not for the
Oh, of course. I always sacrifice myself.
the Caligula style. Don't eat the snails or the dormice. Has to be careful. Go all
I was eating
Roman orgy.
Church's fried chicken earlier, and I was thinking about you.
See?
'Cause I was taking a poo.
Yeah, get the endless rum. Get the endless supply of rum when you're at the house. Or is that no? That's a Hard Rock Live. I think it is.
He's going on the hard.
Rock Live, baby.
All right. Well, have a great time out there. We'll, wish you a happy birthday. Your present will hopefully be here, but when you come in next week. And any closing thoughts or Seminole Indians?
Yeah, you know, it's I got something to say. It's there.
There you go.
Oh.
That's his classic hang-up line. Oh, I got something important to say.
An alien grab.
I got something, so there you go. So we just outed you, Reverend. If you ever are on a call with him and he's like, yeah, I'm going to say something so important now, he hangs up on you. So thank you. There you go. Happy birthday to you. Enjoy some leisure.
Woo!
We'll be back with a call.
Party
We're
up,
queue
bro.
up. Party it up, bro. Dig it.
Smart, just sing from work. Heaven only knows what you reach, what you're sowing right. Win the lottery. it don't look good for folk. All you ever wanted was a red honey. You wear your will by drink and smoke. Fuck it if you need it around borrow money. Win the lottery. Win the lottery.
WJBW.
You don't want
The electronics is so predominant that people would really prefer that.
Hey, WJBW Networks.com presents the JB Rev Show. This week, Jeffro Rapp over there sitting in for the Reverend and on the telephone line. How you doing, buddy? Good?
I'm good.
All right, we've got him. There he is. It's Curtis, and we'll ask him about the X. Curtis X. Meyer. He is one of the three finalists for Orlando's first official Poet Laureate. Congratulations to you, man. That's some pretty cool stuff. You're welcome. So we love to kind of get linear, go linear, learn about your past, kind of get us into present day. From what I can tell you, you're from Toronto, I think, so we'll get into that. But hey, buddy, welcome to the show. How the hell you doing tonight, man?
I'm all right, all said and done. Trying to stay cool given the weather and the humidity and whatnot.
Right.
But,
did you make it okay through the hurricane shenanigans?
My family was very lucky. We didn't even suffer a blackout. I stayed up and watched Rick and Morty. It was actually kind of a fun night.
Oh, no.
Surrounded by my hurricane supplies, eating cookies and watching Cartoon Network. So, family breakfast and whatnot, but
all right.
Nothing too severe.
Well, good. That's good to hear. I know other people, had ups and downs, but on the line with us, so I appreciate it. That's good. Hang tight. It's Curtis X. Meyer. And, man, what does the X stand for before we get into all of this? Because you are well known for being a public orator, as it will. Is it a literary enigma you're trying to evoke by using the X?
It is a super long story, but my real middle name is Eugene. My birth name is Curtis Eugene Meyer. I prefer just going by Curtis. I'm not really big on stage names too much, but it's the joke is that it stands for xylophone, but it actually stands for absolutely nothing.
Okay.
There's a Curtis A. Meyer who's like an English professor out west. I think it's a Curtis, some other middle initial Meyer, who is a poet in Nebraska. And my cousin sent me an email and said something about she liked some poem that she read in some magazine, and I had no idea what she was talking about. And and I did some research, and I was like, and spelled the exact same. I'm like, I guess I got to do something here. So it's really for Google purposes. If you put that into
it's to stand out. Yeah,
Facebook, it's me. I'm easy to find on Instagram, Facebook,
there.
All that. But Curtis X. Meyer is me.
Okay.
But.
Well, very cool. Well, I've always wondered about that. And again, I'm fascinated, man, that Orlando is growing as a metropolitan type of city. And now we have, this is the first official Poet Laureate. I want to get to that a little bit later. But we always love to ask people kind of how they kind of first got into their, their art, their chosen medium. Did you go headlong and knew it right away? Give us some flavor around how things started for you and, being sharp with words.
I guess I was always into poetry. My dad sort of raised me on Dr. Seuss and Bill Pete and all those, Cat in the Hat, what have you.
Sure.
That I always like, sing-songy rhymes and whatnot. I guess I got into spoken word somewhat as a failed songwriter, that I was really too lazy to actually learn an instrument.
Okay.
And I was really big into the HBO series Russell Simmons' That Poetry Jam. Which
right.
My understanding is it's actually coming back.
Oh.
And
really?
Sort of dumb luck, I walked into a cafe one night, and I said, I will be here next week. And that next week turned into the last 13 years of my life.
Oh, my God. That's phenomenal.
And it was fun. It still is.
And I guess for people to understand that you say it kind of, this slick, smooth transition, but there's a lot of nights of, deference to your own self-confidence, right? When you're out there, how do people react? Hey, how was this? How was that? It's not like the NFL. You can go back and see the play.
Specifically what I'm known for, there are open mics any night of the week. I'm actually at Seminole State right now. Outside of their Tuesday Open Voices open mic.
Okay.
Quick plug for them, I guess.
Yeah.
But what I'm known for is in 1986, there was an open mic at a venue, it still exists, called the Green Mill Cafe. It's in Chicago.
Okay.
And in 1986, the guy who ran the open mic was approached by the bartender basically to get their numbers up and put more asses in seats.
Right.
And he came up with what at the time was a really dumb bar game, but it worked and it blew up, and he called it the Uptown Poetry Slam. And there's really three principles. Poets get up, they do original work that they wrote. Every poem has to be 3 minutes or under. It was based on the basic pop song format. And you can't have any props, instruments, anything that would quote-unquote enhance your performance. Okay. I personally have a poem that involves a microphone, microphones, but that's not considered a prop because it's something I didn't come up with. So if I went up on stage and took something out of my pocket, that's inaccessible to everyone. That counts as a prop. And the fourth thing is that it's judged like a gymnastics meeting or a diving competition with judges who rate you 0 to 10, like with cards.
Okay.
But the fun thing is, this is the part a lot of poets hate, but I actually think this is the neatest part about poetry slams, is that those judges are completely volunteer service from the audience. So it's a big audience interaction thing. So from the Uptown Poetry Slam, that basic format in 1986 has blossomed some 30 whatever years later, and now there's poetry slams all over the world. Apparently Singapore has a huge scene. Madagascar apparently has a huge scene. And I was on the original Orlando team 6 times, and when that series folded, I started my own current poetry slam called the Safe Words Poetry Slam. And there's an organization called Poetry Slam Incorporated. I encourage everyone to go to poetryslam.com and check that out.
Poetryslam.com. All right, check that out.
Poetryslam.com. Poetry Slam Incorporated oversees 3 main events: the National Poetry Slam for teams, the Women of the World Poetry Slam, exclusive to individuals who identify as women, and then the Individual World Poetry Slam. And I'm about to be, on top of the Poet Laureate nomination, in 2 weeks I'm going to Spokane, Washington, to the Individual World Poetry Slam to represent Orlando and my home venue, the Safe Words. Well, my home venue, the Milk Bar, home of the Safe Words Poetry Slam. But to send people to those 3 events, you have to be certified. Pardon me, poets are good with words. Certified by Poetry Slam Incorporated. The best analogy that I've come up with is it's sort of like a Mason's Lodge. For a while, I was the head of the Orlando Lodge. Some cities have multiple ones. My understanding is New York City at one point had 5 different slams. But to send people to these different events, and they're in different cities every time. My understanding is Nationals next year is in Chicago. You have to, everyone battles for a season. Completely anyone can sign up. The scores are completely arbitrary, but the Slam Master keeps track of those scores, and the top 12 go on to what's called our Grand Slam. We hold ours in April, and the top 5 from the Grand Slam go on to become the team that year. And not only am I going to be the rep for the Individual World Slam in a couple of weeks, but I just came back from Denver, Colorado at the National Slam in April. Not April, August, pardon me.
So let me get this straight. When you do a poetry slam, do you slam another poet, or you just go up there and you slam? No, I think I've seen a lot of this. I've been around for a long time.
The rap battle comparison comes up a lot.
No, it's not a rap battle. You go out, you slam a cause or something. You try to turn positive light into like a poetry, or is it kind of like you talking bad about something?
The wonderful thing is it's anything you can do in 3 minutes as long as it meets those qualifications.
Yeah, I've seen some really talented people.
I guess what he's saying, it's not necessarily, doesn't always have to be derogatory about the other person or something like that.
It can be something positive.
It can. I've heard people freestyle. Typically, I like doing the same 5 poems I've been doing for the last 10 years because it's all muscle memory at this point.
Got those down pretty good. Yeah.
Everyone has their different preferences, and the wonderful thing is it can be like poetry itself. It can be any topic. Probably one of my favorite slam poems, this poet in Nebraska she has a poem about shaving her head. If she has a poem about the barber messing up her haircut, and that's it. Like, there's no big political.
That's all it is.
She goes in the bar.
Okay.
And that's a really relatable thing. So,
hey, are you being? It sounds like you're being muffled with chloroform right now. Can you?
No.
Can you hear us?
Sorry.
No, there you go.
No, I can hear you guys just fine. Sorry.
Oh, were you eating a sandwich or something? Tell us. No.
No, I think I just put my finger on the speaker of the cell phone. My bad.
Maybe that's it. Okay. Talking with Curtis X. Meyer. How long have you been in Orlando?
I moved from Toronto in 1993. I celebrated my 25th year in Central Florida this year.
Your what year?
My 25th.
25th year anniversary.
If my math is correct.
Yeah.
There you go. Local legend, Curtis Meyer. I didn't have that much information on you to officially dub you, but we're doing it. We're giving these things out. Local legend, Curtis X. Meyer, one of the three finalists amongst the many things he's doing out there. Officially dubbed local legend. So thanks for verifying that. We had to get the little Guinness Book of World Record checker guy to check that out for us. But we got the text and
the Reverend.
Yeah, the Reverend said yeah. Mm-hmm. So good job, buddy. Hey, you guys over there do a lot of stuff. I think I saw even recently something about Iron Poet. There's so many different events than themed events around here. With this poet laureate thing, that's a good, it's a good little chunk of money each year. You have some responsibilities, but what are your thoughts about, maybe transition us up to, going and getting this experience, kind of bringing it here, keeping it here, doing a lot of great stuff in our community for people that have the ability. You're welcome. Have the ability to want to say, hey, I want to bear a part of my soul in front of a bunch of people, in no matter whether it's about what was a girl's thing about
people,
her bald father. I don't know.
I take what I do very seriously, because at its core, getting in front of a microphone in front of a room full of strangers is you exercising your First Amendment right.
There you go.
It's really sort of charming when I see, we call them mic virgins, the first timers who come and they've written a little haiku in their notebook or something on a napkin. They're like, oh, everyone's so inspired, I'm really nervous. And they don't understand that what they're doing in other countries is considered a crime.
A great point. Vital to a healthy democracy is exactly the activity you're explaining.
Public discourse, absolutely.
Yes. Congratulations. Yes, that's you've won the entire show, I think, Curtis. So
thank you.
You just won.
No, that's really good. So he's playing in Central Florida. He's going to that.
There's a bunch of little places around here, and I want you to plug the hell out of every little place around here and abroad. But I would also love
if I listed absolutely everyone.
I know
the show
you can
would go on forever.
Well,
I'm directly affiliated with the Safe Words Poetry Slam.
Yes,
that's easily found on Facebook, Google, etc., etc.
Google that right now.
That is. We are at the Milk Bar on 2424 East Robinson Street every Thursday.
Okay.
We do 2 poetry slams a month. If we don't have a poetry slam, we'll either have a public writer's workshop open to the public or an open mic. But pretty much every Thursday at Milk Bar, something is happening. Every Tuesday at Dandelion Community Cafe, community spelled TEA, is the Diverse Word open mic. My understanding is it is the longest running open mic in the Orlando area. I think it's like 11 or 12 years now.
Interesting.
They're an outside venue. They're open not only to just poetry, but comedians and musicians and what have you. And I doubt he's listening, but I have to shout out a gentleman named Preacher Lawson. He was just recently on America's Got Talent. He made the finals. He started off at Diverse Word at Dandelion Community Cafe, so all of Orlando, all our artist community were watching with great intensity and fervor.
Yes.
And then in terms of weekly open mics, the other one I can think of is Austin Austin Coffee,
right.
And Fairbanks and Denning, they have a different themed open mic every night. That's sort of the local hotspot for all the artists, hipster community. And Wednesday nights is their spoken word open mic hosted by Kira Calparesi.
Yeah, you just named all
there's
the
more than
spots.
enough to do. And the cool thing is if you go to one, you'll meet everyone who's there, and they'll tell you about the next one, and it'll happen word of mouth. It happens very organically in that sense.
Yeah, we know all those spots. Those are really good spots. I used to hang out at just about every one of those spots all the time. It's been a while, though. Still go to the Milk Bar every once in a while. That was my hangout spot. But, yeah, good.
Milk Bar is so wonderful because it's I love the fact that it's animal friendly.
Yeah, that's cool.
I always joke with people who haven't been before, like, make sure you pet the bartender has his has his dog Buddy, the bar dog.
Yeah, he's a good dog.
He's cool. Yeah, and they got board games and stuff in there. And we were just talking about that before the call, that how like part of the hurricane felt like you're in the 80s or something like that. You're like, oh, McDonald's looks so cool. Let's go there.
To the parking lot.
But I think what's incredible is you're touching on the exact tone of what we try to do and echo the sentiment. Orlando's got a lot of great little kind of not speakeasy, but just you have to kind of be in the know of where stuff's at and where you can kind of get your fix of culture that's more organic, let's say. And I'm so proud of Orlando because of that. I mean, all the stuff they've done downtown with that new venue there, to bring more cultural arts to the community. So,
the Phillips Center, absolutely.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I almost said Bob.
I've seen a couple concerts there now. I saw Bob Dylan whenever he was last in town, but I love the center.
And that's an intimate environment, right? I mean, it only holds maybe a couple hundred people.
And the acoustics are wonderful too.
Yeah, and I would imagine that's a big factor. But chatting with Curtis X Meyer, and man, I want to hear a little bit, kind of as we gear down here after a little bit. I want to hear about kind of the dynamics of what the poet laureate thing kind of looks like to you. Obviously, that's a great honor, a great distinction to have. There's a service aspect of it as well. You've got to So maybe talk to that whole process. And when I was like, whoa, he got in there, because I was I've done writing in my youth. I was going to go for it, and I'm like, you know what? There's people that are actually like yourself out there that are actually talking the talk, walking the walk, and so you're doing that, brother. Yeah, man, you're doing that. So that's what we do here. Drop a little bit of praise, ask a little question, and so then I guess give us some flavor around that whole opportunity there that's circling around you.
I do consider it a great honor. The two other nominees, Susan Lilly and Terry Ann Thaxton, are local professors. Terry Ann Thaxton was actually one of my professors at UCS, so it's kind of cool that we spoke briefly after we got the news about how we're all in good company, that we all respect each other and our work. On my end, it's particularly humbling that my understanding was there was 49 applicants. Of those 49 were the top three. I'm the youngest at 33.
Right.
I'm the only male, and as far as I know, I'm the only person of color. And I appreciate you talking about the honor. And there is to me, I feel there is a layer of service in that. I find, without getting too zen and woo-woo, I do find a very big sort of a shaman aspect to being the poet. You're the Meshuggah, you're the Rafiki character from, like, you're the crazy, there's so many different, the griot in African culture. You're the wise dude who sort of gathers everyone around the campfire. Yeah. And I
voice of the people.
I feel very honored to be considered, with everything that Orlando's sort of been through in the past 2 years, Pulse being the big one.
Right.
The plaza where Christina Grimmie was unfortunately murdered, that venue is a block up from the Milk Bar, and I've actually performed, I don't think on the stage, because I think they got two stages, but I performed there. And at its essence, the poet in any facet is you're sort of the representative of your hometown. You're the voice.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of pressure in that.
Right.
There's a lot of humility and in being considered, I guess, worthy of that. I can't say that I'm not nervous. I'm certainly flattered and honest. My Facebook blew up with all my relatives and friends well-wishing me, and I spent the whole day blushing. And the other thing is considering that Susan and Terry are certainly more on paper, I guess, published and distinguished than I am, but. Luckily I had enough YouTube clips and whatnot to I guess pad my resume.
Right. Well, they've had the a double amount of time, or not double, but at least 20 more years. So in saying that, I think it's important to take that as a definite springboard for whatever you're going to do. Because I
will say in many aspects, Terry instilled in me that sort of community aspect. So I have to definitely sort of tip my hat to her. And if there's anything I have about that sort of social responsibility, like you said, service, part of that is from her teaching me.
Well,
directly.
and there you go. And there you go. And then kind of, what is that, a 3-year stint in that role, I think, which is amazing.
My understanding is that, off the top of my head, I got to double-check the sheet, but it's $3,000. I'm eligible. The winner is eligible to hold that position for 3 years.
Okay.
So they can strip me of it if I say something stupid.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Knock on wood.
Well, yeah, we don't want to put the specter of doubt out there, sir.
And then I have to do something. I think it's like 20 or something features within a certain allotted amount of time. I think it's 20 features in like 6 months, and specifically educational features. So I'd go into a school or somewhere and teach students a half-hour workshop, writing workshop, or
there's a huge activist and community aspect.
There's an educational angle, but it's just to be nominated is I hate to sound like the pageant winner, but like just to be nominated is a huge honor for me.
Yeah,
you should be proud.
Well, this is our Stream and Shout edition, so we appreciate the fact that you've kind of let us forward, dub a local legend here, even though your years of serving the community are still kind of yet to unfurl, I say, because what you've done in a short amount of time is amazing. So thanks for doing that, brother. Yeah, thanks for doing that. Seriously, thanks for doing that. And, where's the best way? You said, safe, slam safe words. Was that? Did I get that right?
The Safe Words Poetry Slam out of Orlando. My personal recommendation for anyone anywhere in the U.S., and I believe they got a few places in Canada as well. If you go to poetryslam.com, that is Poetry Slam Incorporated's official website. They have a map on that website that it's certified slams by state. If you go there and find Florida, that'll lead you to Orlando. It leads you to Orlando, it'll lead you to Safe Words Poetry Slam with our address, our times, etc. So my recommendation...
And that's the best way people want to go connect with you. Do you have a site of all the places you're at? Because that must be, or like, what's the access to your Google
I'm really
Calendar?
Facebook and Instagram addict. I'm easy to find.
All right. Facebook, Instagram, the best way.
I lose track. I'm not really the advertising type person. I like face-to-face conversation.
Yeah.
You can Google or YouTube Curtis X Meyer, Curtis with a C, no period after X, Myers, Meyer.
There you go. Do some of that.
I'm super easy to get in contact.
Do some of that. Reach out to them if you want to find out more. If you've got the feeling that it's your American right and civic duty to speak out about something you wholeheartedly believe in, Manatee, you could do that. You could do a bald grandfather, right? Or
I just left this open mic where a guy did a poem about slugs coming out after hurricanes. So anything goes.
There you go.
Yeah.
Anything's on the table.
Mind opening.
Oh, all right. Well, appreciate it, Curtis. Hang on the line there, Curtis. A little bit of Fat Night. We're going to bust into that. Prep up our call for 8 o'clock with Mitch Foster. You're listening to the JB Rev Show on WJBW Networks. Dig it.
Good loving man, doing the best I can, doing the best I can. Something mutated when I was created, because the two of you don't share one selfish sound. Loving and lusting and thorough jaw brushing, you never knew your boy was raised so well. Saturday AM, you wake up, volunteer all over town. Saturday PM, I rise up from my coffin in the ground. If actions speak louder than a hearty make a sound, stay up for just enough so as not to drown. Most I could ever hope to do is follow the model set by you. I don't wanna waste your time. Most I could ever hope to do is follow the model set by you. Maybe wanna be, maybe wanna be, maybe wanna be an honest man, honest man, doing the best I can, honest man, honest man, doing the best I can. Don't care much for karma, don't believe in the promised land. What's it gonna take to make me an honest man? Wondering how the hell I ever got a hold of you. We stayed high, maybe that's why you stayed so long. Overtaken by complacency as boredom took on you. I stayed oblivious until you were already gone. Moving is hard, but stagnation is harder. I can no longer be a burden, can create no more martyrs. I need a light because I'm no self-starter. Hope I figure it out before I'm someone's father. Most I could ever hope to be is that to you what you were to me. To your life what you were to mine. Most I could ever hope to be is that to you what you were to me. Maybe wanna be, maybe wanna be, maybe wanna be an honest man, honest man, the best I can, honest man, honest man, the best I can. Don't care much for karma, don't believe in the promised land. What's it gonna take to make me an honest man? Honest man, I'm an honest man. Hard-working man, hard-working man. Good loving man, good loving man. Hard-working man. Tell me what's it gonna take to make me I'm an honest man. Good loving man, good loving man. Hard-working man, hard-working man. Good loving man, good loving man. Honest man, I'm an honest man. Good loving man, good loving man. Hard-working man, hard-working man. Good loving. Good loving man, doing the best I can, man, doing the best I can. the best I can. Doing the best I can, the best I can. Doing the best I can, the best I can. Doing the best I can, the best I can. Don't care much for karma, don't believe in the promised land. What's it gonna take to make me an honest man?
WJBW Orlando, the very first quasi-radio web show.
Doing Mitch.
Hey, what's up? Welcome back, Jeff Rowe, in studio over there for the Reverend. I am JB Webb. It's at Radio JB Webb on the Twitter. On the line with us, we have our scheduled call. It sounds like I know he's a busy guy. He does a bunch of badass stuff. Most importantly, we're going to talk today about 10 Fest, a little bit of shows I go to, and American Party Machine, the hard-working man here in Orlando, Stream and Shout edition. Welcome to the call. It's Mitch Foster. How the hell you doing, buddy?
I'm doing well, man. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, you rock, man. We really appreciate it. We have a local,
dude, you rock.
We have a local legend thing, but you haven't been quite doing this for 20 years yet. But you are a prime candidate. As soon as you get in the red zone, there, man. You represent.
I've been to some of his shows.
Well,
they rock it out.
Well, American Party Machine. That's the band. We'll talk about that at the end. But before all that, of course, the shows I go to cite all across Florida and the nation. Great commentary, great articles there. A lot of cool, innovative crowd. Plus they give away tickets like crazy. And then before all that, though, I wanted to concentrate a little bit on the event that you have coming up October 7th, the next Saturday.
Cool.
From this date.
Fest. Yeah.
Yeah. So give us a little flavor around 1010 Fest.
Yeah, man. So 1010 Brewing has been a big fan of mine for a while, and we've done some small-scale events there. But the thing that really makes me want to work with someone is passion. Right. And 1010 Brewing Company has so much passion inside them, and they're masters of their craft. I've never had a bad beer there. They take pride in their food. The people who work there, the people who started it, they used to be musicians. Mm-hmm. They're punk rock kids, and used to play in bands, and they started this badass brewery, and they've made it into something that is very adult. It's professional, but it also has that childhood nostalgia to it, and I respect that, and I've respected that for a long time, and I'm so happy that I'm able to bring something to them, bring something to the table that is attractive to them, that's attractive to Orlando, that's going to be super fun, super cool. And yeah, I'm stoked that we've teamed up for this whole thing. And the whole thing is to benefit the Mills 50 district too.
I love it too, because it kind of, Orlando has a rich history with kind of the 90s feel, especially everything that wasn't dance music, all the other sounds. Yeah. So I love that you're evoking that. It's 10 bands, $10. It's at 10 Brewing in Ivanhood right there. What's the address again? Do you know?
It's pretty easy. Ready? It's 1010 Virginia Drive.
Oh, what?
Yeah, that's why it's called 10 Brewing.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's good. That makes sense. 1010 Virginia Drive. You can't forget that. So speaking with Mitch Foster, man, tell us a little bit about the bands. How'd you this is the second year you're doing this, but you've got some great people coming in, different Orlando roots, a great palette to show off a lot of different sounds. Give us a 10,000-foot view on that.
For sure. So one of the things shows I go to is done, and I founded shows I go to in 2013.
Right.
And it was just me at first, and now we're up to a staff of 60 people, and it's wild.
Congrats.
But thank you so much. So 1010 Fest was mostly handpicked. by me, and with a couple influences from some great friends of mine, people I trust and respect. And we wanted it to be a full day, starting out with punk rock, starting out with wild psychedelic rock, and going into a more vibey, chill evening where it's going to be something good to finish your night out on. Yeah. And that's why we chose Fat Night as the festival anchor, the festival headliner, along with Shaq Nasty.
That's awesome.
And those are two super badass bands. Fat Night is a lot newer than Shaq Nasty. Shaq Nasty has been a staple in the Orlando community for so long, and it's such an honor to have them on our lineup. And I asked Matt Lapham personally, and after a couple of back and forth, he agreed, and we did it. Stoked about that. Fat Night has escalated a lot in the past year. They've cleared 1 million streams on their hit single "Sun Go Down," which we are doing a beer after, which is awesome. So we wanted to come up with a cool day, 10 bands that we handpicked, and we wanted all 10 bands to make a beer, but we could only push out 5 beers with 5 of the bands. So what we did was 5 craft beers with 5 of the artists, and we're calling them Artist Ale. And then we've got 5 mixed drinks, 5 1010 exclusive cocktails, which are made with 1010 mixers and Tito's vodka.
Okay, that sounds good.
It's pretty wild.
So,
and 1010, go ahead.
Yeah. So I was going to say, I love that you kind of have a vision and a well-orchestrated sensibility of how the event's going to go, and even explaining it to us in that fashion. You know, it kind of starts out the little punk rocky, a little psychedelic rocky.
Yeah, I'm there.
It kind of moves into the sounds of Shaq Nasty, and then Fat Night. I mean, that's a great flow. And then I love the theme of the drink. For each band. And now this is important part of this. Well, you're welcome. Well, again, you've crafted really something intelligent and smart here, because it's a little bit of a throwback, but you've really put it together in a way, I think, that affects the Mills 50 district there in that nonprofit organization.
It does. So we're Mills 50. 1010 Brewing wouldn't exist without the Mills 50 organization.
Wow.
And they've done so much for the Orlando music community, the Orlando arts community, for me personally, for shows I go to, for 1010 Brewing, for Will's Pub. They are the forefront. They're the fighters. They're the ones that when we give up and we say we're done, we're closing our doors, they're the ones that say, nope, you're not. We're going to make this
we got
work.
Your back.
And they figure it out. And they're the ones who dust us off and put us back up on where we should be. And this is one of the least things we can do to repay our endless years of thanks to them.
Well, and I think when you have the ability to, bring everybody together under this cause, that is that beautiful little section of Orlando that's fine. It's under neglected in the regards of no touristy stuff. That's great. We love that because that's the main. Yeah, that's one of the main veins of Orlando and culture, and kind of what we talk about every week on this show with people. We're chatting with Mitch Foster, again, founder of shows I go to, putting on 10 Fest out at 10 Brewing, and the maniacal, I will say in a good way, drummer for American Party Machine. Which we'll get. You're welcome. We'll get to that in a little bit.
Can I say something?
Yeah, there's Jeff Rowe.
Yeah, I just want to say I'm so proud of that. I grew up on Virginia Drive. It's my neighborhood, and I'm so proud of the people. Yeah. I'm so proud of the people that represent my neighborhood today. It's grown so much. And like what y'all are doing with 1010 and all those bands. I mean, I've been with Shaq Nasty before they were called Shaq Nasty. Yeah, and all the bands. I mean, I was introduced to Fat Night years ago and a bunch of other bands. And y'all, I've seen y'all play a few times, and y'all put on like a really intense show. You know, we all just get crazy and drunk, and
on behalf of the band.
And y'all get kind of theatric with y'all's show too. Theatrical with your show too.
Yeah, if you've been to a Fat Night performance, you know it's an experience.
Yeah.
Same with Shaq Nasty, man.
Yeah. I've met you before. I look a little bit like your singer, big long beard. I mean, I've hung out with him before, but yeah.
Awesome.
Jeffro.
But I just want to say,
Jeffro.
I just want to say thank you,
Jeffro,
for putting this together. I'm there already. I can't wait.
Yeah, dude, it sounds like a great time. And again, I
just
love
those
the fact,
three bands alone. Imagine what else.
Well, the drinks
I gotta
too.
look at
They're
the list.
themed.
The drink,
they're
the
original. Everything's kind of craft, a cocktail. It's a great representation of that area there, and moreover, the Orlando community feel. So thanks again for doing all that.
Yeah.
But let's get into what. Can you rattle off all the bands that will be there, or were you gonna? Did I just interrupt you?
Yeah, man.
Where were you going?
No.
Yeah, what are the other bands?
I can do that certainly as well. One thing I did want to mention at the school is this whole thing is it's not for us. It's not for necessarily 1010 Brewing or even the bands. It's for the fans. It's for the Orlando community, and especially the music community and the arts community, and all these people who have been wanting something cool, something badass, something where they can be like, hell yeah, I'm going to go to that next year, because it's inexpensive. It's only $10 to get into the show, whereas all 10 of the 10 bands on this 1010 Fest lineup are $10 a head bands.
$10 a head,
and we're combining them all.
It's like the bands for the fans.
The same price.
You get 10 bands for $100. Yeah. It's a good little it's a good little thing. No, you're right. The value
for the fans.
I don't know how you're pulling this off. It's amazing.
Man, it's not something like it's a benefit show. So proceeds go to Mills 50. Tito's was kind enough to sponsor part of the stage and part of the bar, and we've made a very personal impact with every one of the bands. Everything that we're doing, I mean, all the wristbands that we're printing, they're hand stamped. I'm fucking sitting there hand stamping wristbands all week.
Yeah.
And
well, you got to do that.
With hairspray, so the seat doesn't smudge. And we're screen printing T-shirts on site live. And
that's cool.
Yeah.
Like I've been making all the graphics. It's been a very, very like grassroots type thing. And I guess to rattle off the lineup, it's going to be kind of a wild day. We're starting out with the state. They're comparable to like older Mumford and Sons. It's weird saying old Mumford and Sons too, because I feel like they're still such a new band.
Yeah, they just played Tampa. Yeah.
But the States are performing first. Such a soulful band. And then right after that, Gary Laser Eyes. Gary Laser Eyes just won Best Band in Orlando last year, and I think that's fucking awesome. And they have an amazing saxophone player. One of the members of Gary Laser Eyes writes for shows I go to. One of them, full disclosure, one of them edits. So, and I'm in a band too, and like that's the cool thing about shows I go to is a lot of us are musicians, and I feel like that helps us with our writing, with our editing. It really helps us.
Yeah, the staging
sure
or whatever. Do
y'all understand what we're talking about? But after Gary Laser Eyes, we have Wet Nurse. Wet Nurse is releasing a beer.
Okay.
And they're our first beer release that day.
That's a good name for a beer.
A couple years ago called So It Goes. Okay. And they're making a wit beer, and they're calling it So Wit Goes.
Okay.
Which is very clever, and it's flavored with blueberries. So it's a lighter. The way that we arranged all the beers throughout the day is according to what your tasting palette should be.
Oh, that's fucking
Not saying
cool.
that people are going to actually adhere to that.
Right.
People are going to drink whatever they want.
But the experience, it's designed to flow with the beverage and the music, and I love that.
Yeah.
Things get crazy after the fourth beer.
We're careful with planning all of it. We want it to be intelligent. We want it to make sense. We want it to be fun. We want it, if like you catch any part of like the little behind the scenes things that we're doing,
so much.
You want to be like, oh shit, that's really cool. And that's something I would want personally. Like I want to I want to attend something that's fun and intelligent and interactive and something that I feel like I'm a part of. And I'm trying to create something in that same realm and offer it to people, and hopefully they like it.
Well, I think you're doing a great job. Did you get to the end of the list of the drinks and the bands?
I got through 3 of them.
3 of
Three?
them.
Oh, 3 of them. Oh my gosh. Well,
gotta wait to get there.
Go like 10 Fest on Facebook. But what I want to, what I want to say, man, and I want to, kind of get back to the. The lineup, because you put a lot of work into this, man, and I'll tell you what,
Thank you.
You're welcome.
It's not work though. It's not work if you feel like if it's a job, then it's work. But this isn't work to me. This is fun, and we've made a almost like a blood pact that says if this ever stops becoming fun, then we will stop doing it.
Right.
Yeah, because ain't that the point of life, having fun? I mean, come on, enjoying yourself and giving enjoyment to other people is important in life.
Yes, serving.
And we're all in this together, man.
There you go. Well, on the line with us, Mitch Foster. Mitch Foster, and I want to kind of give equal time to all of the candidates out there. Are people voting on the beer? Are you going all Lord of the Flies on this or no?
We thought about that, but we're like, just the only way you can technically vote on the beer is by buying one of the
whichever one sells
that guarantees you to try one of the specific 5 beers in advance.
Yeah, there you go. Answered salt.
But I mean, once they're sold out, those are sold out. We're offering a limited amount on site after all the VIPs get their beer, because we're doing specific wristbands for every one of those beers.
Oh, that's a good point. So there you go. So
you got the judges, or does everybody just vote, or what?
Well, no, I mean you kind of pre-buy into what you're most into. You
I'm going to try them all, baby.
Blueberries, I'm gonna,
I'll try 2 of each.
If you're not into beer, then try some of the liquor drinks. Like,
try that too.
One of the cool things is 1010 is they're crafting all of their own mixers for the drink.
Yeah.
So they're doing, with Gary Laser Eyes, they're making a strawberry mint soda to go with Tito's vodka and fresh lime.
See?
They're making an orange honey soda to go with Sonic Graffiti, which is Sonic Graffiti, I feel like, has the best bass player out of St. Pete and Tampa. And the reason why I say St. Pete, Tampa is because I cannot say that about Orlando, because Matt Lapham has the trophy.
Yeah,
and there will be a battle to the death between those two.
There you go. That's right. Damn straight.
When I first saw Matt Lampant play, I was walking up to the show, and there was all glass windows, and I thought the glass was going to break on me. Coming on me.
He went subsonic.
They were going deep bass.
Okay. Again, online with us, Mitch Foster, man, and you're a great drummer in your own right. With you're welcome with your group, American Party Machine, which we'll talk about kind of in a little bit here and kind of close out with that, because I have a track I pulled, Space Mountain, and we'll get into that. And what I like about that, real quick, I guess then, is that it's again kind of brings back this sound and feel of 80s, 90s. The transition whenever they were transitioning off of like hair metal pop, a little bit of Rage Against the Machine in there somehow. I don't know, but cool stuff. So we'll get into that. But so we'll get into that. But what other drinks? I don't want to cut you off with the drink list, but let's move into that and then into American Party. Okay, lightning round. There we go.
Round.
Okay,
real quick.
All right.
We brought the younger audience into this. Somebody we respect wholeheartedly. The band Hungover.
Okay.
They're a great pop punk band, and they're killing it in the pop punk world. We're making a drink called the Irish Goodbye with them, and their song Irish Goodbye has over 30,000 views on Facebook. Okay. There's like 100,000 views on YouTube. They're killing it, man. But it's Lineage Cold Brew Coffee.
Okay.
Almond Milk Creamer.
Okay.
So it's vegan. And then Tito's Vodka.
Wow, like a White Russian kind of.
Yeah, man.
Like a
vegan White Russian.
Like an off-white Russian.
Vegan, right?
That's awesome. It's fun for everyone.
He's got a little beard.
Wolf Face. Go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead.
Have you ever seen Wolfface?
Wolfface, no.
I guess to deconstruct them, Wolfface is a 4-piece wolf punk band in Clearwater, Florida, and they come in full wolf masks and tighty whities and basketball jerseys, all wearing the number 42 Scott Howard jersey from the movie Teen Wolf with Michael J. Fox.
Okay.
And their whole band is based after that movie, and all the songs are written about the years that happened after he was in high school and how he had a couple wives and things didn't work out so well. And they're making a beer with us. They're doing a number 42 Golden Ale.
Wow.
Right on.
They're making the beer there.
So you brew too? Or you're...
No, that 10 Brewing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I know they're a brewery.
10.
I was wondering, do you brew your own beer?
Go ahead. I've brewed beer in my past.
You have?
Certainly. I'm sorry, is there an echo?
Echo.
How bad is that echo?
No, I don't hear that.
Oh, no, well, you're coming through okay on this end.
Okay, cool. All right, sweet. I just wanted to make sure that we're good, because I've done, like, podcasts, and I've done the radio, and it's, like, the most frustrating thing when you're like, oh, fuck, there's an echo.
Yeah, or you think, yeah, or did that come through? Am I still talking? But, yeah, we are still talking with you, man, and I love the detail that you go to really kind of honor these groups and say, you're getting a damn drink made after you. That's right up there. Yeah, that's right, Dean Martin shit, right? So... So I love that. I love that you're doing that.
Thank you so much, man. And like, it's been so cool working with the bands and kind of pushing them and like having them reciprocate and saying, no, I want this or I want that, and figuring out, okay, this is what you would drink. And for example, Sonic Graffiti, they were so appreciative of their drink, and they're making orange honey soda with Tito's and with fresh squeezed lime. We're calling it the Morning Electric.
Okay.
That's going to be a rad drink. I guess to continue lightning round, we have Bask. Bask is a band, stoner metal, doom metal. They're from Asheville, North Carolina.
Okay.
They've done collaborations with like Burial Brewing, which is huge up there. They just got off tour with Pallbearer, which is one of the biggest bands in that genre, and they're fucking awesome. They're coming down from North Carolina. They're making it's called Carry Me Home IPA. So that they're going to be the heaviest beer of the day and the heaviest band of the day.
That sounds like my beer.
Yeah, that's the one for you, Jeffrey.
IPA. There you go.
And then
Jeffro.
The States, I mentioned the States earlier, but they're doing a thing called Wilder Things, which is their single that they're pushing right now. And it is 1010 house-made root beer.
Okay, that sounds good.
And Tito's vodka, and then we're doing vanilla extract to make it kind of like a Florida float.
That sounds good as hell.
Yeah.
Right? Well, are you the mixologist? Are you working with kind of collaborating with everybody, right?
I am so fortunate to know some of the best bartenders in Orlando.
Yeah.
And, one of those bartenders, his name is Brian Austin. Him and I have been working on this menu
That's awesome.
relentlessly. And he works down here at Lizzie McCormick's. He works at Hard Rock Hotel. He's been bartending in Orlando for damn near 16 years now. And he knows his shit. And it's very, very fortunate of us to have him as the bar manager of this whole thing.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. A good alliance. On the line, Mitch Foster. We're going to get into American Party Machine. How many more drinks do you have over there?
It's the last one's the American Party Machine.
Oh, let's talk about this one now. Because after this session, besides showsigoto.com, 10 and then the number 10 fest, hashtag 10, the number 10 fest. Okay, dial the one grandmas out there. Anyway, and then again, American Party Machine. So let's talk about that drink, talk a little bit about the band, and we'll play some music from them.
All right, cool. So the American Party Machine ale is called Ready to Rumble. If you don't know who American Party Machine is, we are think of like wrestling theme party metal mixed with a more classicer side of like 70s, 80s rock.
Yeah.
Little hair metal.
Like
Spinal Tap, Guns N' Roses with WWF. Yeah, with WWF.
With WWF.
Hey, brother, watch me lick this riff. Oh. Woo! Yeah, somebody's getting thrown in the toilet.
No, everybody's crazy when they're playing.
Every show.
Yeah, throw people through a table. Thing. All right, so a little bit of Gallagher in there. No watermelons, but
so, you know the people at 1010 Brewing, they came to us and they were like, we need to make a beer with you guys. And we're like, all right, well, what goes in the beer? And they're like, well, you put malt in your beer, and we're like, lame. And they're like, you put hops in your beer, and we're like, lame. And water, and we're like, nobody drinks water. And then they say yeast, and we're like, we don't want none of those infections.
Yeah,
so
right.
what we did is we flavored it with the only goddamn thing that we could put in beer besides any of those boring ingredients, which is whiskey.
Oh, what?
Oh, yes.
The only damn thing that beer is missing is whiskey.
What?
So it is a Fireball infused red ale. And red ale is my favorite type of ale.
Like Killian's
so
or
I was
something.
very fortunate to push for that type of ale. The base is actually their Shambolic red ale that 1010 Brewing has on tap on a regular basis.
Mm-hmm.
And we were able to get a full keg of that, and we flavored it with oak spirals, because legally you can't put whiskey in beer. Side note.
So the oak barrel
But
that
you
makes
can
sense.
put oak spirals in whiskey for a couple months and then put them in your beer. And we also took some cinnamon Fireball Red Hot candies to give it that extra kick.
Okay. So it's gonna pack us some kind of wallop.
It's gonna
there,
be loud.
Just like,
So I'm drunk already.
You guys have been making music for what is about almost 5 years, I guess. 3, 4. Yeah.
Yeah, about 5 years.
Yeah. So give us a little history on the band, and then we'll. I want to make sure that we talk about everything. Circle back on everything, and then we'll bust into some of this music.
For sure, man. American Party Machine has been a band I've been a fan of just personally for 4 or 5 years now.
Mm-hmm.
One of the crowning moments of seeing that band before I was in the band was at the Florida Music Festival. They played at 9:30 p.m. on Wall Street. They were on the second main stage right before the Supervillains or something, and everyone in the crowd was kind of tipsy. They're kind of like, I've had a full day of this. I'm ready for something. The American Party Machine comes out, throwing people through tables, throwing beach balls into the crowd.
But in a good way.
There's like 11 people on stage. It was wild.
Yeah, it's fun violence.
It's
not-
like it's like Parliament P-Funk kind of experience, like jam band, like anything could happen.
Nobody's really getting hurt.
Yeah, that's a good way. That's a good way to put it. But all right, so we'll bust into some of that soon. And when did you recently? So how long have you been playing with them?
I've been playing with them a year now.
Okay, so that's pretty bad. How'd you fall into that?
Honestly, I mean, I guess like on the record, even though I'd rather it be off the record, but we'll put it on.
You don't have to.
When I saw them, they had an awesome drummer to start with, and their second drummer, he was a great drummer, but he didn't have the kind of flair that I was wanting as a drummer to see with that caliber of a band.
Yeah.
And they shared that they were looking for a drummer, and we started talking, and we've been friends for a bit. And I'm like, man, I know exactly what needs to be done here. So let me try out. And I tried out, and they're like, fuck yeah, let's do it. And
Damn.
And now I'm part of the band, and we've been writing new songs. The new songs are heavier and faster.
Yeah, that's cool.
More catchier, and there's a lot of really cool things coming out of this band.
Well,
and personally, it's cool to be a fan and to be a member.
It is.
To maintain that balance.
Yeah. It's like that kid who started singing The Journey, the Filipino kid. Remember that?
He fucking went on tour with them.
Adam Lambert and Queen. Yeah, I mean, it's a surreal feeling. I can imagine. You're like, but I guess that says a lot to your personality, kind of the cut of your jib, sir, as it were. So don't ever undervalue that. Keep focused that you're making rumbles, you're making echoes in the ethers and the infrastructures and in the physical world. So keep on doing it, buddy.
Well, thank you.
You're
welcome,
fun,
brother.
One person at a
Stay humble
time.
about all this shit.
Well, and that's just it, man. And like you said, you're doing it, you love it, it's fun, so it's not work, and that's the kind of thing I think we'd love to see, some progression in society in that regard. So, because obviously you can have all the money in the world, but not have two brain cells to rub together. It seems like. Anyway, but that's all right. No, we're not getting political.
Story.
No, yeah, we're not getting political. All right.
Love
No,
thy
we can
neighbor.
get political.
Oh yeah, Party Machine gonna get fun political.
I feel like I'm with you on all that political stuff.
Yeah. Well, I would love for
Kim's
you
gonna
to
be
keep in touch with us, man, because we do original music. We play people's original music out of here at least once a week.
you.
So if you
Thank
keep
you for doing
funneling,
that, too.
if you keep, no doubt, you keep funneling stuff to us, especially bands. And I love that you're on the pulse of a lot of what's great here in Florida and outside. That's of the same ilk in the vein. So again, Mitch Foster, shows I go to 10 Fest coming up next Saturday, October 7th. And of course, American Party Machine. We're going to roll into Space Mountain here. Hang on the line with us, Mitch. It's WJBW Networks.com, the JB Rev Show. Dig it.
SS-420, this is Mission Control. Initiating power transfer in 3, 2, 1.
quasi radio web show.
Wow. Yeah.
WJBWnetworks.com. JB Webb in the house over there. Good buddy Jeff Rowe. Rap, how you doing over there, man?
I'm good, man. Enjoy that music.
You have fun?
Jeff Rowe.
You have fun so far?
Yeah, man.
Learning about a lot of great shit going on here in Orlando. Hey, let's do this. Go.
Totally turned on by 10 Fest right now.
Well, I want to go talk about some local events you know of going around here, and we'll do that after this.
And now, breaking news badly.
Some breaking news badly. Just read some news headlines, talk about other cool people around here doing cool stuff. There's a lot of great music here in Orlando, inside, outside venues, but Will's Pub sure does put up the goods quite often, don't they?
Yeah, they do. Unlimited Devotion is playing this Thursday.
You know, this Thursday night. So that's the 28th, 2 days from now. It's 26th, 28th. Who else is playing?
Roosevelt's going to be there playing with him. He used to play
Collier.
with Roosevelt Collier.
Yeah,
to play with a lot of professional musics out there. He's like the musician that goes around to plays with everybody during Halloween and everything. It's going to be really good. We're going to bring out. He played with the Allman Brothers and Wani and stuff. He's going to be playing like with Unlimited Devotion, a Grateful Dead cover band from South Florida. And they played here last month or a couple months ago, and they just totally killed it. It was a lot of good vibe, a lot of good fun. So that's Thursday at Will's.
And that's a Dead cover band.
Yeah, and they do a little bit of other, but it's mainly
original stuff.
Dead. Yeah.
Okay.
No, not originals. Like a couple other bands or whatnot. What else is going on?
So that's good. That's the local kind of stuff here. I pulled a couple headlines here. Let me pull this first one up here. Get your thoughts on this. Did you know women can't drive in Saudi Arabia? Do you know that? As of, I guess, today, Saudi Arabia lifts ban on women driving. Isn't that crazy?
Is they're being punished?
Is that progress? They're being punished. Now you have to drive?
Yeah.
Okay. That's a good...
Yeah, because like they get tired of driving. They want their girl to drive.
They're like,
for
hey,
them.
these
They're like,
women...
this isn't a good law.
Yeah, this is not helping us.
I would rather her drive so I could relax.
Wow. I guess so. Oh, Trump. Trump! All right.
Trump, yeah.
It's his fault. What is it? Oh, somebody
Sad.
local here is writing for National Geographic. Is it Liz Langley? Liz Langley. And she's local Liz Langley, isn't she? You've heard her.
Sounds familiar. I don't know.
Anyway, she has an article here that says the lizard shoots blood from its eyes. And that's at nationalgeographic.com.
Wow, the world is going nuts. I mean, I'm glad I'm not going to be here to see it.
Oh, why is that?
I got a little time left on this planet. But
going to Newt Gingrich's moon colony? Is that set up yet? I thought we were getting that. Here's another thing, something you can do to get behind a cause is Save 440 Westminster, unofficial. Let me pull this up here for us. The current tenant told the Daily City, nothing has been signed or sold. My landlord is just exploring his options, but thanks for publishing it as fact. The topic is on City Council meeting's agenda on September 25th, which was yesterday. It takes place at City Hall. There you go. So I'd love to see the outcomes of that. This is a building built in 1926 that they want to preserve, and they, I guess, someone wants to chop it down. Yeah, sending the big bad wolf out there.
Back then, the buildings were designed to let heat out. Now the buildings are designed to keep cold in. So
right.
Totally changed.
Yeah, because of no AC.
Yeah. But you got to keep those old homes. I don't care what they say.
Yeah, I think you should. It's kind of our duty to preserve that. Anyway, have you ever made butter?
Yeah.
like organic butter.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I've made all different types of butter.
Okay.
And
like compound butter and stuff like that.
And ganja butter, too.
Okay. See, that's good. That is good. That sounds delicious.
That was actually my first butter I made. But actually, I've made some soaps too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
See, well, I think that's crafty and good to know. RealPharmacyWithAnF.com has an article there. Learn to make organic butter in minutes and never buy it again. But I think that's a gardening and all that stuff. Those are things that computers can't do, right? But we can use computers to maximize all this time and land that we have. All we have is this time and land and sunlight. We're here in Florida, so it should be making food or eating food or growing food or doing something. I don't know. I think I love technology. I do, but I think we could be a lot more efficient with the
be a
way
little
that
bit
we
more
live.
self-efficient.
Like a damn cheeseburger at Wendy's or some shit is great, but it's not
one you made.
Sustainable.
Like today for lunch or dinner, I made my own bacon cheeseburger and French fries before I came here. And, I could have went to a fast food place, but why? My food tastes so much better.
Yeah, there you go. You're damn right.
I mean, you're going to do nothing but sit around and
it's
think.
healthier for you, too, I think, too.
Yeah,
it's
and you
not as
actually know what you're getting.
Yeah, it's not as processed.
Yeah, stay away from process.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Live the processes.
What is this? Something about FEMA? Hold on. TheBoneOnline.com. FEMA mistakenly tweets number for sex line instead of disaster relief.
Wow.
You like that one?
And they had to pay. They're sitting online waiting for help, and then they're going to be sent a bill. This is getting crazy, guys. I'm telling you.
There you go. All right. Well, we got other stuff and other stories, but let's. Hey, what do you say we wrap it up?
Yeah, with the rap, Jeffro rap.
You got any? You want to improv rap at the end? You're going to try to? No, can you do that?
I just want to say, man, I love this town. I love this world.
Hell yeah!
And I love nature. I don't love the way people act sometimes.
Yeah,
they get a little down, and when they hear things they don't like, they start calling names and making fun of people. And all they are do is detrimenting themselves because they're not opening themselves up to the possibilities of understanding and learning things other than what you have been through. It's called empathy.
Yeah.
You can learn so much more.
I think you bring up an awesome point, dude, because it's exactly that. In this last year alone, under this new administration, we have become petty. We have become a little backbiting nation of, there's people calling people snowflakes, but a lot of the times people forget you're actually 100% more on point with what you're calling somebody because you see it in yourself.
Yeah.
And it's something you have inside of you. So you feel so scared and you have to resort to name calling and all this petty ass bullshit. Like I see people on Twitter saying F you if there's a John McCain, and then they're like stand for the flag. It's duplicitous. It's what's the neurosis of the mind? It's not psychotic, it's the other one. Where the sociopath. There you go. Sociopathic. So I don't want to. I love that tonight we spoke with somebody who spoke about free speech and getting out there and talking at poetry slams and stuff like that. And then somebody like Mitch that's doing awesome stuff with the community and bringing these bands together and the community together to benefit a Mills 50 district.
Talking and sharing. Yeah.
That's what we encourage you to do. And we encourage you to go check out these people that make badass stuff that we support 100%. Number one, of course, is PocasHottest.com. PocasHottest.com. Get yourself some damn hot sauce delivered to your house if you want. Pick it up. It's at multiple locations around Central Florida stores. ShannonHoltArt.com. You need some interesting expressive ways to communicate with your employees. Whether you're in the restaurant industry, entertainment, film, ShannonHoltArt.com, artarmy.org. Everyone's an artist. Everyone.
The revolution has begun.
All right. Ear Theater. Let's talk about modern music movement. Jeffro Rap, Pressure Wash. In case you need that. Who else is out there? Oh, yeah. Anyway, so there you go. Oh, Dana on, what was it? I forget where she works. Dana Johnson on Park Avenue. Just yell Dana out there. Anyway, any closing thoughts, buddy?
One love and make sure you treat your mind right and spread the love.
There you go. Rock the house. We're going to close out with a track from Fat Night. Take care, love and respect each other. We'll see you next time. Reverend, be safe. Happy birthday, Reverend.
Jerry.
Words you said to me, gonna set me free. Holding you tight, telling you it's alright to get next to me. So what if we don't see eye to eye all the time? Baby, you're mine, that's the way it's gonna be. You can't be like a mystery to me for the night. Alright, 'cause of three little words, three simple words. You left all alone and with tears in my eyes, girl, I watched you leave. I was on the phone, I couldn't cry, I couldn't breathe. What's my life without love? What's your life without mine? Is it better on the other side? You can't be like a mystery to me for all time. 'Cause of three little words, three simple words. Cause of three little words, three simple words.
Yo, 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 yo.
WJBW.
The electronics is so predominant that people would really prefer that.